My question is to the Premier. Does the Premier have confidence that the Chief Executive of the South Australian Museum is progressing the recommendations endorsed in the Premier's review? And with your leave, sir, and that of the House, I'll explain.
Leave is sought. Is leave granted?
Thank you. More than 2 months after the Premier committed support to recommendations contained in his review, I've been advised that a number of museum staff are most concerned they have not seen evidence of steps taken to implement those recommendations. Further, in contradiction to the commitment that the museum cease some proposed changes, the move to discontinue association with the molecular lab has continued, with the Uni of Adelaide being told the museum will not contribute funds or staff to service the lab anymore as they have for the last 21 years.
The Premier.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Thank the Deputy Leader of the Opposition for his question. I know he's had an interest in this subject for a sustained period of time, and I acknowledge his advocacy in that regard. The government, of course, did conduct a Premier's review of the proposed changes to the museum. That made a number of recommendations that also did result in changes, including at the board level. The Minister for Arts subsequently has also made changes in respect to the appointment of a new board chair in Rob Saint, former Deputy Vice-Chancellor at Flinders University, and with himself a credentialed science background, which we thought was important given some of the challenges that were happening around the museum. It is the government's absolute expectation that under the leadership of Mr Saint, who is the person that ultimately reports to the Minister, that the recommendations that were made and accepted by the government are implemented in full. And we, for the purposes of the political architecture of the government or the cabinet architecture of the government, to the extent that we should have confidence in anybody, it is in the board chair, and we absolutely do.